Welcome to Gulfstream today on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. Ron Nicoletti along with Katie Stazak, and we're going to have a fun day of racing today. We got a fast main track. We got a firm turf course. Boy, we had a lot of fun yesterday with those guarantees in the Rainbow Six, pick 5 and the late pick 4. But no one hit the Rainbow Six, so we have a carryover today of a little over $13,000. We got a 10-race card, so it starts in race number 5 today, $13,000. So a chance for you to get some money for our weekend, your beginning of the week, but it's our weekend. And Katie, the 2-year-old races yesterday, Sands Lasix, were very exciting.
They were. What a success they were, especially if you're in the Ralph Nix barn, because he won both of them and had the exacta in the second.
One other thing I want to tell you about, starting this Thursday, our new post time will be 1:15 p.m., and that's to put us in sync with the races at Saratoga, so you can come here and bet all the races from beautiful Gulfstream Park, and we'll have that simulcasting from Saratoga, and of course Del Mar too.
Yeah, all the great racing this summer, you can bet it all, see it all right here.
Yeah, so it should be a lot of fun. Before we get into Sunday's card, I want to see what's been tweeting around the country, and the first one we want to talk about here is a horse, TaylorMade, that bought a part of a special horse, didn't they?
Yeah, you know, all the talk this year was American Pharoah, but not too long ago we had a horse that was California Chrome, and he was pretty close to winning the Triple Crown himself. He was just purchased by TaylorMade. They purchased a portion of him. Steve Coburn's ownership is now been given to TaylorMade, and looks like they're going to send him back to the farm for a little bit, but he was evaluated by Dr. Larry Bramlage, who said that his bone bruise that was just recently announced looks pretty good. It's only the early stages of it, so we could see him race again next year.
Well, let's hope if we see him race again, but in part by TaylorMade Stallions. Next thing we want to talk about is the Florida Thoroughbred Owners and Breeders Association got some kind of award, didn't they?
Yeah, Association of the Year. That award was given to them by the Florida Society of Association Executives, so a nice honor for them, and nice for them to be recognized. They do a lot for the horses, always looking out for the horses and the horsemen here in South Florida.
And sort of good news for Lady Eli. Looks like everything is okay for her.
Yeah, so far so good, trainer Chad Brown said. As good as you could imagine. Apparently she had a very positive week, so continuing to keep her in our thoughts. And she's suffering from laminitis, which is a very serious disease, but looks like they're staying cautiously optimistic.
Well, that's great news for the connections of Lady Eli and all racing fans. She's a very nice race mare. Okay, now we're going to look at Sunday's card, and we're going to start it today with a turf race. As we mentioned at the top of the show, the turf course is listed as firm. This is 7.5 furlongs. Claim is 3 and up. Non-winners of 2 races in life or 3-year-olds. Jockey change on the 10. Jesus Rios, main track only, is also out of there. That's number 11, Wall Street Kitten. We want to go back and show you a horse that Katie has in, I believe, a second. I have in third today, and that's My Space Cowboy.
This is a horse that is worth putting somewhere on your ticket because of the trouble he had last time out that I wanted to point out. He's going to get bumped pretty good right here and have to be taken back. He gets shuffled all the way to the back of the pack, and then he's going to actually end up making a run. He finds some room along the rail. He's going to make a nice little bid to get up for second, only beaten a length and a half. I thought that was a pretty positive effort considering the trip he got early on, completely taken back and shuffled all the way to the back of the pack.
Yeah, that was at 5 furlongs of 5/8 of a mile, so now stretching out around 2 turns, and I was really tempted to put this horse further up on the ticket. Almost made him my top pick in here, but I went another different way. I went the way you did, Katie. I went with the 8, Dreamin' of Clarice, and this one is the only 2-time winner in the field. Going to try and make it 2 in a row right now after using his speed to defeat older horses at a mile. I think the slight turn back to 7.5 furlongs to me looks like a positive move for this sophomore.
Absolutely, and they're going to have to catch him to beat him. He beat $16,000 claimers last time out, so it looks like he finds himself in an even softer spot today.
And we both have number 9, Expected Meeting, on our ticket.
Yeah, this one's a 5-year-old son of Eddington, dropped down to this level for the first time in his last start on July 4th. Finished a solid second. He could end up sitting the trip here.
Yeah, and he finished 2 lengths behind Dreamin' of Clears back on June 25th, so that to me makes it look like he fits with this level of competition. So if you are in agreement with our top pick, you might want to have the number 9, Expected meeting somewhere on your ticket. That is race number 1. The second race, we're going to the fast main track. It's a 1-mile claiming event. Fillies and mares, 3-year-olds and up, $6,250. And we'll have 8 runners in the field today. And Katie, I went with the number 6 here, My House, which you have in third. And I'll start with the analysis. This one's going to stretch out to a mile. 7 previous races at a mile, 2 wins, a second and a third. First start since rallying to finish behind a hard-knocking horse called Yes Ms. Olga. That was a $12,500 claimer. Going 5.5 furlongs. Sandino Hernandez claimed her last time out and has Josie Gomez handling the drop today to the $6,250 level. If there is a little bit of a red flag, 12.5 to claim, dropping to the $6,250 level.
Still not a big drop, and I really like that with the switch in connections being claimed that they keep Josie aboard because she knows this horse very, very well. Also, the last time she ran at this distance, she won by 13 lengths. But that being said, I ended up giving the edge to the 2, Bahia de Oro. And just from a pace perspective, I think there's a lot of speed in this race, and this one could end up sitting the trip. And she's competed against tougher. The last time she ran on the main track, she's been running on the grass. She finished third in a starter allowance. And the last time she ran on dirt at this level, she won by more than 3 lengths. And it was here during the championship meet, so that said a lot to me.
Yeah, and if you go by the track bias on yesterday's card, if there was a track, but as soon as they sealed the track, we had a little earlier on, nobody was passing anybody on the main track. So just to want to break that point, watch how these early races run today when you're putting your Rainbow Six ticket together. If a horse like the 2 comes from off the pace, maybe the track, now that it's opened up and fast, we'll get that closer's bias or stalker's bias here today. Hard to gauge, only in race number 2. The horse that you have in second, I also have in second. That's Secret Memory. You're going to try and make it 2 in a row at the same level and distance after drawing away along the inside. Won that race by 3.5 lengths last time out. George Handy, Jose Caraballo in the saddle. Really nice race last time.
Yeah, and she's won 2 of her last 3, so in really good form.
And George Handy, what a great story. 90 years plus, winning a race a couple of weeks ago. Not only a great trainer, a great guy.
Yeah, overshadowed a little bit by Jerry Bozzo, who's 94 and been winning races. But what remarkable people we have here.
Yeah, he called him Kid the other day. Jerry Bozzo called him Kid the other day. The other horse I used on the ticket was the 3, Miss Powwow. Eligible today, I think, to show more after responding last time out. He dropped in competition, second place finish against this same kind of competition was back on June 24th. Pete Wazalik Jr., Luca Panici to ride. Josie Gomez is going to stick with 6, My House, so a little bit of musical jockeys there. And who else? You had basically the same horses on the ticket.
Yep, I threw in My House, had to have her on the ticket somewhere.
Let's go to race number 3 this afternoon, and it's back on the turf. It's a 1-mile event. Its claimers, they're 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, or 3-year-olds in here, and they're running for a claiming tag from $30,000 down to $25,000. Jockey on the 3 is Jesus Rios. Once again, Edgar Zayas not riding, had a spill the other day, broke his collarbone. Should be back in 4 to 6 weeks, and we wish him a speedy recovery. And scratch the 9 and the 10 in here. And I went with the horse that I have on top. You have in third, and we've got some kind of different angle going here. We usually have the top horse the same, and then we're different. Now we're going a little different way. Why don't you tell them about number 6, Jacob's Way, and then I'll tell them about Charlie Mops.
All right, I do want to say I like that pick. We'll get to him in a sec. Jacob's Way, one of 2 multiple winners in here. He's going to look for back-to-back wins at this level and distance today. He's a stakes-placed runner, dual on the lead, and held on for a half-a-length victory last time out on June 26th. And I just thought the back class that he has gives him an edge at this level of competition. But Charlie Mops, an interesting horse, returning from more than a 4-month layoff.
Yeah, he's dropping to this $30,000 condition claiming level. First starts, as you mentioned, he chased the pace, he faded. He got beat a little over 4 lengths. That was a key $50,000 optional claimer here that has produced 3 next out winners from 9 starters, including a repeat winner called Honor the Kitten. Actually went up to New York and won. So going with the key race angle there with the 4, Charlie Mops. Like the horse, like the name even better.
We also both use the 1, that's Royal Rogue. This is the other 2-time winner in the field. Finished 3rd behind Jacob's Way last time out. Made a 5-wide bid to get up and secure the show. This is a horse that I think has done his best running, going a little bit longer, which is why I had to give Jacob's Way the edge. I would give him the edge if this race were at 1:16.
And Dave Casson, the trainer, had 2 wins on yesterday's card, so he had a very good day yesterday. That's race number 3. The 4th race today, we mentioned yesterday we had such fun with the 2 races for fillies that ran without Lasix, and we're going to do that again today with the boys in here. And this 4.5 furlongs, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds, actually none of them running with Lasix in here. Scratch the 4, Guyana Cat. Also note the jockey on the 7 is Jose Caraballo, and we want to go back and show you the horse that we both have on top of our ticket. Its last race back on July 5th, and that's Call to Honor.
Yeah, he ran very well in his career debut from the Jose Pinchin barn, and take a look at him in this race. He did not have a good trip. He gets hustled immediately out of the gate, you're going to see here, just gunning it, which a lot of times you want to do, because in these short races you're going to want to get the lead. But he's going to tire a little bit. He ends up angling out from the rail into about the 3 path, and he runs on to be 3rd despite getting really hustled from the get-go in this race, only beaten a length and a half. I just thought that was a really great first race experience to build off of. You see, he continues to run on, doesn't completely flatten out there, and this is a half-sibling to Holywell, who won 2 of the 3 Florida Sire Stakes Series races for fillies last year.
Yeah, the My Dear Girl division and the Susan Dear Girl division of the Sire Stakes. Turning back today to 4.5 furlongs, so should help this horse. Got the previous experience to turn back in distance. We both have the 3 in second. Another horse with some experience, Golden Pirate, was given some time off after a promising debut at this same distance, in which he set the pace from the rail, faded to finish second, was beaten 4 lengths. I think he's got some upside in there. He's got previous experience. Juan Rodriguez, Jesus Rios in the saddle.
And he finished behind a horse from the Stanley Gold Barn that day named Fellowship, who would go on to finish second in the Bird on the Wire Stakes here, so that race has produced some nice horses. I threw in the 6 and 3rd. That's Peaky Blinders. This is a son of Maimonides. He's going to debut for trainer Joe Hennessy, who's 20% with his first-time starters. 7 published works on record at Arundel Farm in Ocala. And I just thought that with the percentage, how well Hennessy does with his first-timers, this one might be able to get a minor share.
Yeah, and he's 15-1 on the morning line. I had to throw in the 9, Yorke. What are you kidding me? I'm Italian. Yorke, if you don't know what that is a pasta. This is a son of Repent, debuting for trainer Gustavo Amaya with Northwest Studs as the owner. 5 stamina-enhancing workouts showing on the farm, and I think you watched the toad action here on this number 9 horse, Yorke, ridden by Luca Panici today, 12-1 on the morning line. You know, Katie and I probably have the right 2, not that they're going to win, but the right 2 on top. Then it gets a little dicey, and thus you picking the 6 and me picking the 9, and you got to love Yorke. I mean, you got to love that, right?
I do.
Let's go to race number 5 today, 7.5 furlongs. This is where the Rainbow 6 starts. Don't forget, we have $13,000 plus in the pool. 7.5 furlongs on the turf. Claimers, fillies and mares, 3 and up, non-winners of 2 races in life, or 3-year-olds, $12,500. Jockey on the 10 is Luca Panici, and scratch the main track only participant, number 12, and number 10, Tuminia. It looks like the logical choice in here.
Absolutely. 2-time winner, going to look for her 2nd straight victory. Dropped to this level on July 9th and drew off to a 1.5 length score. She's the front runner, and it looks like she's going to be able to dictate the pace today and get things her own way.
And she's the daughter of Big Brown, and we mentioned that's where the jockey change comes today. We're ridden by Luca Panici. The horse I used in second, Katie, was the 6, Pinzy's Prize. Moved to the Antonio Sano barn via the claim. Going to turn back today to 7.5 furlongs after dueling for the lead and weakening to finish 4th, going a mile in the 16th. Sano pretty good with new claims. He's over 30%, and he's got a red-hot jock who's been riding just great form early on in this meeting. That's Juan Leyva.
He has, and Pinzy's Prize has run against a lot tougher. My only concern is a quick turnaround, but Sano does do very well first off the claim. What about the 7, Princess Romana? You also used her. Her lone victory came at this distance, finished a solid 3rd, only a length and 3/4 behind Taminia, and a neck from 2nd last time out. Rebounded that day from a poor effort over a sloppy main track, and if things get too hot on the front end, another that the pace scenario, the race could set up well for
Yeah,
her.
it looks like it would set up for her, and at this time of day, we've had a couple of turf races. You can see just how the turf has been playing. It's not etched in stone that that's how all the turf races are going to run, but it sort of gives you a little bit of guide to see how you're going to do it in there. And what else? They used the number 11 on the outside, June Flower.
Well, you know what? She has 3 wins. The only 3-time winner in the field, taking full advantage of the conditions of this race. But she didn't perform well in her previous tries routing, so distance was a concern.
But she is a 3-time winner, and that's always a good angle to have. Let's go to race number 6 today. 6.5 furlongs, maiden claim is 3 and up, $10,000. We got a full field of 11 runners. This kicks off the pick 5 in the afternoon, and it happens a lot when they have these full fields, no scratches. Katie and I usually end up on the same horse. Not to say it's going to win, but we're sort of thinking alike in here. We're almost alike. We got the same exact, the 7 twin shot on top of your ticket.
Yeah, it looks like this is the distance that he's been looking for. 6.5 furlongs should be just right. He made a 5-wide bid to get up for second last time out in his debut at 6 furlongs, so he's going to get just an extra bit of ground today. And the horse that finished just behind him in that race, Mi Patron, he came back to win here just the other day.
And Handpicked won 2 in a row. The
Yes.
horse that beat him last time out, Handpicked, come back and ran very well in its next start. So sort of a key race starting to percolate there with the 7 twin shot. Number 10, Laurentino. A recent gelding is plunging to this $10,000 level on the main track. Failed to show much, but that was against considerably tougher on the turf during January and March. Ramon Morales, Josie Gomez handling this combination drop-down surface switch. Sort of a guess on my part, and I'm thinking on yours. I don't know what it is on the morning line, 3-1. You know, a couple of things that this horse had to do that it hasn't done in the past.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, but the last time he ran on dirt, it was his career debut, and that was probably the best finish of his career, so maybe he'll be happy with that surface switch.
Yeah, who else did you use? The number 8 here, and that's Roma's 2?
Roma's Time, the son of Burning Roma, also making the turf to dirt move today for trainer David Fox. Made a steady gain along the rail to finish 4th against $12,500 maiden claimers on June 25th. It was his first start in 7 months, so I figured second start back might be a little better.
I threw in the 2 in there, 7 Mondays, making his first starts in closing. He finished a distant third. It was against $12,500 types up at Tampa last time out. The trainer Zoli Dura has Altevio Bernal in the saddle. And I just thought, I'm not convinced this horse can win, but I think this is one of those horses that, you're going to leave him out. He's a big price, can come up and close out the trifecta or superfecta in that race.
Could add some really nice value to the
Right.
ticket.
Let's go to race number 7 this afternoon. This one's a 5-furlong sprint, turf, maiden special weight. 2-year-old fillies on the grass. It doesn't get much better than that. We're going to scratch the 13, 14, 15, and 16. And please note that the jockey on the number 3 is Tyler Gaffleone. And we want to go back and show you the performance of the horse that both Katie and I have on top of our ticket. And that's Just a Gem, who I believe is ready to shine.
I completely agree with you, Ron. Take a look at her last time out. This is her career debut. She's going to hit the gate there and kind of fall in. She gets shuffled back, loses a lot of ground. She's dead last there. And in a 5-furlong sprint, that's not where you want to be. But she's going to end up making up some ground late. Gets up for 4th here. I just thought this was, you can see her kind of in the back of the screen there, making up ground late, striding out pretty nicely. I would really like to see her get some more ground. I mean, look at the, really striding out well there late and making up a lot of ground. I'd love to see her get a chance to go longer, but that's not going to happen yet just because of her age.
Right.
But she's bred for the grass, and Stephen Demaro, 21% with maidens making their second start.
Yeah, that was a pretty nice performance. He showed the start there, and you just can't be, left back, especially a youngster, when you get knocked back at the gate like that, to come and get close and be, digging in through the stretch was a pretty nice performance. Thus, we both have it on top of the ticket. I went with the 1 and 2nd, Katie, and that's Get a Room. This one's going to give the turf a try after dueling for lead and finishing second. A 4.5 furlong career debut on the main track. The trainer is Monty Thomas, and he has Prentice Harry Hernandez handling that surface switch. I liked that race last time out, and I don't see why this horse can't translate that to the turf. Got the inside post, should be able to get a decent position in this big field.
Absolutely. I think there are a lot of live horses in this race. I ended up going more towards turf pedigree. That was the angle I went with. Roses Are Red. This is another daughter, like Just a Gem, of Leroy de Senemo. Going to make her career debut for trainer Fernando Abreu. She's out of an El Prado mare, so lots of grass there. 4 solid works under the belt, including an endurance-building 5-furlong breeze on July 9th. Who else did you use?
We both used the number 9. She Ain't Easy, a daughter of Henny the Navigator, but really nice breeding on the dam side. She's out of a cozy mare called Columbra, and this one, the debut trainer Phil Gleaves. Solid morning work tab showing on this horse. Luca Panici will be in the saddle, so just going off that breeding too. Now, I mean, this is a wide open race. You know, we're talking about the Rainbow 6 and the Pick 5 and the late Pick 4. I think you got to go pretty deep in this race if you possibly can.
Especially with so many unproven runners.
All right, let's go to race number 8 today, and this is the 4.5 furlong maiden special weight race for 2-year-olds. The other split of there, we had to split them again today for Sunday. 9 runners in here, and race number 8, they'll all run without Lasix. Katie, you went with the number 5 yearbook on top of your ticket.
We have our exacta flip-flopped here. I gave the edge to the first-time starter, which might be a little bit of a risk. This one's from the Stanley Gold Barn, a son of Hear No Evil, the half-sibling to the multiple stakes placed Building New Era. 8 published works on record, including the half-mile drill on July 2nd that I thought was particularly strong when 48-1. Jose Caraballo's going to ride. He's winning at a 40% clip for this barn, but he's going to have to contend with a horse that already has some experience.
Yeah, and that's the one who I put on top, and that is Wild Pussycat, who's cutting back to 4.5 furlongs, going to race without the Lasix today. You look at its last race, opened up a really quick 3.5 length lead before weakening at the 8th pole to finish third in its 5 furlong debut. It is trainer Wesley Ward. He's really good with maidens making their second start. He's almost 25%, and he's got Edgar Prado in the saddle. They've hooked up recently, jockey and trainer tandem for 4 for 8, 50%. So I like the thing. I just think off that performance, went out there, showed some speed. I think that Edgar's going to, throttle this horse down a little bit, turn him back to 4.5 furlongs. Going to run very well in there. You've got him in second. Who else did you use on the ticket?
I used the 4 Candy My Boy, a son of Candy Ride, and the 4-time stakes-winning Grade 1 stakes place mare, Runway Rosie, was purchased at the Fasig-Tipton, Florida sale right here at Gulfstream in March, has 12 recorded workouts for Carlo Vaccarezza, including 2 bullets, 1 here and 1 at Palm Meadows. So I liked that one. But I want you to tell me about the 3 also, because I love the horse that this horse is related to.
Well, Mr. Leonard is a gelded son of Maimonides, and that's where Maimonides, I looked up for debut runners, not very good, 0% so far, but it's a half-brother to $5.2 million earner Lava Man, debuting for trainer Joe Hennessy and Arundel Farm. 9 workouts showing Luca Panici in the saddle. Anybody that's related to Lava Man, I got to give a little bit of shot on the ticket here. You mentioned Joe Hennessy in the last race, how good he is with first-time starters. So I put Mr. Leonard right on the ticket.
And Lava Man going to be inducted into the Hall of Fame this year. What an incredible horse. He was one of my favorites, so I might regret not having that one.
Well, with the Maimonides, I almost did not put it on, but I figured at 12-1 on the morning line, why not take a shot? And certainly bred to run very, very well. Let's go to race number 9, 6 furlongs, allowance optional claimer, fillies and mares, 3 and up, 25,000. Scratch the number 7, Kipling's Joy, and we want to go back and show you a performance of a horse, a $625,000 daughter of Malibu Moon, making her start off a layup, but it was a while back and it was at Tampa, but boy was it impressive.
It was impressive. Cheap horse, not a lot of money they paid for that one. I wish I had that kind of money to get this horse, and she ran like it last time out. Haven't seen her in a while, but no trouble here. Man, how easy did she make this look? The rider is just absolutely sitting still. Was 11 1/4 length winner. Going to debut for the Ralph Nix barn today, and he's been doing so well with his new horses that he's been getting in, working sharply. A half-sibling to 2 graded stakes place horses, but she's coming back from a long layoff.
But I like the workout, 47-2, and then that race was very impressive. The jockey, Ronnie Allen Jr., was looking back for competition. So coming off the layoff, beautifully bred. You mentioned the connections, David Fawkes, which sort of sold me on that horse. So I put it right on top of my ticket. You went with the number 5 horse in here, and that's Don't Call Me Charlie.
She's just been running well. She returned from a brief 2-month freshening, finished third behind the Marty Wolfson trained duo of Anabu Geisha and Lemon Lashes last time out. That was at a mile. Going to cut back to her best distance today, a 4-time winner at 6 furlongs, and I thought she'd sit the trip behind an abundance of speed.
Well, number 6, Tarn Feather, finally figured it out. It's going for its 3rd consecutive victory after using it as speed to defeat $12,500 state-bred optional claimers last time out. It's Stanley Gold, Eddie Castro, stepping it up a little bit today.
A little bit, but she seems to run up to the level of competition that she's faced with. She's been stepping up her game. 2 wins in a row, had to put her somewhere.
Yeah, so a very nice race. We'll see how that horse returns from the extended layoff for trainer David Falk. Race 10 on the grass, 7.5 furlongs. Maiden claim is 3 and up, $12,500. Jockey change on the 1. Make the rudder Tyler Gaffalione. Scratch the number 13, Bishop's Sleeves. And don't forget, we have the super high 5 in this race, and we're going to have 12 runners in the field. And both Katie and I have the number 5, Vincent Chase, on our ticket.
I'm looking for a Kathleen O'Connell exacta. We both have both of her horses on here, but Vincent Chase, I think, is just one that's found the appropriate level of competition, was only beaten a length last time out, and doesn't have to do much to improve and get the win.
Well, you know, Vincent Chase showed lots of drama last time out when he closed some 20 lengths off the pace to come within a length of breaking his mating at this level and distance. Trainer Kathleen O'Connell, as you mentioned, Pedro Monterrey Jr., and if you knew what I meant by drama in there, if you're an Entourage fan, Vincent Chase is one of the characters in Entourage, and Drama was his brother. That's why I threw the drama thing in there. I got Casparella Invader, who you have in 3rd and 2nd, trying to turn. It's turning back today to 7.5. Surrendered that earlier 3-length lead to finish 2nd. Against $16,000 types up at Tampa Bay. But the 11, I want to be a Storm Cat from Kathleen O'Connell. Got a big shot here in the nightcap.
Yeah, he too was only beaten a length last time out, but it was at big odds. He's going to need to prove his consistency a little bit.
Yeah, so that is how we see the Sunday card. And once again, before we get off the air, we want to remind you, starting Thursday, Katie, we have a new post time here at Gulfstream Park. Our first race will be at 1:15 p.m. Throughout September.
Yes, it will be 1:15 p.m., so we'll be starting 15 minutes later, but you can still get here early. You won't miss us.
Anything else?
Enjoy the day.